Hello, and welcome to the supplemental video on Real Flight Simulation 9. So, hopefully, you are using a Real Flight 7, 8, or 9 for the Warren County Community College simulation course. So, many of the initial instructional videos were done in Real Flight 8. So, what we're looking at now is Real Flight 9. And we want to have a look at what a few of the little differences are. Fortunately, it's almost entirely the same. So let's take a little bit of a look. So here's what will happen. You'll load the software. You'll load all the databases that have the airports, the aircraft, etc. for your simulation. You'll configure your remote control, and we'll go over again the different comparison the various different little nuances that are different, but largely to say it's largely the same would be an understatement. So let's go into fly. Many of you know the Slinger drone. We'll go into beginner, but let's go in. Let's just go through this real quick. So this is Real Flight 9. So just in case, and you should watch this video before you do any of the exercises, because remember, again, the exercise demonstrations were done in Real Flight 8. So under the simulation, I'm not going to go through everything, but the physics is still here, and you can control the difficulty, so it's exactly the same, realistic, intermediate, or beginner. We'll just put everything on intermediate for now. So that's exactly the same. Now, when it comes to aircraft, a couple things you'll want to be aware of. There are a couple databases with aircraft. So there's the Real Flight 9 aircraft and Real Flight Legacy aircraft. And that'll be a little bit different than your previous instructional videos. But both of the drones, or the drones you're going to use, are largely here. So let's go down. So you'll remember the one we use the most is Quadcopter X. So Quadcopter X is here. So you get the same drone, has the same GPS, has the same altitude hold. So all the components you need are there. You will also notice that the Hexacopter 780 and the second Hexacopter 780 GPS model are here as well for you. They added a couple things that you can take a look at. You have an octocopter in this. You have some interesting various drones. You have a quadcopter, an X8. This one's kind of an interesting drone. And I invite you on those exercises when we're say you can use whatever drone you want to do so. Now, when it comes to the Slinger drone, and if you're looking for that, you will have to go into the area called Real Flight Legacy Aircraft and open up that folder. Once you open up that folder, you'll find a number of other drones here. But for your sake and for the sake of the exercises, you're going to use the Slinger drone as well. So that is here as well. You can start to look at some of the older drones that were here as well in some of the legacy aircraft that exist. So that you're going to find is largely the same. You just may have to open another little section that came with your CDs. So you have everything you need. In the environment, you can select an airport, and so you have multiple ones to find. You have, some new areas. You have some flatland areas, like an aircraft carrier, a bayou, a boneyard. You have some photo fields. So you have some things you can pick. And then you have the Sierra Nevada, where you're going to find the construction site, which we use a lot in our course, and Joe's Garage HD, which we use. So once again, everything you're kind of looking for is here, and some real cool places to fly, especially as you're getting to some of the free flight exercises. Let's go into the gadgets. So you have your nav guides. They're right here. Your navigation guides. You have your radio. You have your binocular. you have your viewport, and you can change the viewport, view, camera type, nose, and you can get that first person view again like we did. So everything you need is here. You have your edit nav guides. You can go through and edit what you want in your nav guide. So you can do all of the exercises that are shown in the other videos that we demonstrate in Real Flight 8. You can do them here as well. But let's talk a little bit about a couple of things with the remote control itself, or otherwise known as the radio control for the simulation software. We'll go ahead and pull this up. I want you to get a look at this, and I want you to realize a little bit different. You have quite a few additional toggle switches. So you're going to want to go through your manual a little bit and look at your toggle switches. Make sure that you have everything you need. And in fact, there may be a few on here that you don't have. But they're here for you. You have these various toggle switches. They're going to affect your altitude hold, your other things. So as you're reading the manual, going through the course, remember, your remote control has been updated. So it's actually a little bit more robust than the one that I was using to create your instructional videos. So keep these in mind. Be aware of these changes. Remember to kind of go through your manual. If you're talking to another classmate and they happen to be using Real Flight 8, largely you're going to be in the same general idea, but you may get a little bit different in terms of just the look of it, the feel of it. So you're still going to have your elements that you can use, like your quadcopter trials, and you start at level 1. They're going to be roughly the same. Might see a little bit subtle nuances, but for the most part, you're going to have them to be the same. So everything that you need to complete the course, it doesn't matter if you're using Real Flight 7, Real Flight 8, Real Flight 9, you should be able to complete all of the exercises. Just understand it's going to look almost identical, but you're going to have some little subtle nuances. So again, if you have any questions or you have any concerns with regard to this, please reach out to your instructor. Please take a look at the software in advance, and give yourself a little bit of time when you're doing the exercises in case you do run into an issue and you say, oh, did you notice this? We have looked through this. We do not believe that you will have any difficulty, but if something does occur, we'll restructure the assignment a little bit for those of you who are using Real Flight 8 versus Real Flight 9. But otherwise, happy flying. Enjoy the software. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool things you can do. You got a lot. If you do have the Real Flight 9, you get a little bit of a bonus. You're going to have a lot more airports and challenges to select from to give yourself, some new scenery and some fun times. So see you soon in the class. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Take care.